Pathmonk is an intelligent tool website for lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add Pathmonk to your website in seconds. Let the AI do all the work and get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us on pathmonk.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Neil Fraser from Northern Company Law Offices. How you doing today, Neil?
Doing well, thanks.
It's great to have you on today's show. And let's give our listeners are tuning in your own words. Can you tell us a little bit more about the firm?
Yeah, well, we are a full-service law firm located in Western Canada, in Lethbridge, Alberta. We've been around since 1973, and quite honestly, we run any kind of legal service that you require. We can look after. It's a one-stop shop that way, and I think makes us kind of unique within the region. And so we do everything from estate planning, real estate transactions, a lot of corporate work, commercial work, even intellectual property, and getting into some mediation work as well.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Great to hear that. And so that way our listeners get a good understanding that is there a specific cases that you guys like to pick up, or like, I don't know, like commercial law, personal injury, real estate, employment law, or is it like more of what I mentioned?
Yeah, we do all of that. To be quite honest, we have 27 lawyers on staff throughout in the area. We have 27 lawyers that are with us, and they have such diverse backgrounds. So we do have lawyers that specialize in litigation or personal injury. We do have lawyers that specialize in corporate and commercial business work. And then we also have lawyers that specialize in real estate transactions and estate planning. Those lawyers, they tend to cover that and plus a little bit more. But really we just really look after everything. So, and that's one of the things about our marketing is I use the analogy of get them in, move them up. So if we have a client come in with an estate request, looking to create a will and everything that goes along with that, then we want to make sure that we're letting that client know that, hey, we can look after some real estate transactions for you. You have a business, we can certainly help you there. So that's really a lot of what we do is try to get people in and then just making sure that they know that we have all these other areas available too.
Definitely. Okay, great to hear that. And well, let's say, I just had a personal injury. How would I usually find out then about Northern Company there? Is there a top client acquisition channel for you guys?
Oh, well, our website, really, that's where, especially in I think with law firms, people will, it's not one of those things, they go, we don't have a service or anything that you need day to day. It's just sort of one of those services that comes up when unfortunate accident happens or something happens, a life event happens. So our marketing more is on making sure that we're top of mind, so that when you do, something happens, an injury at work or whatever, you do go to a website like most people do, and you start searching for, a lawyer or whatever. And we want to be able, we find ourselves at the top of the page. They look and they read about us, and hopefully that generates the lead for calling us. So it really, we do a lot of Google ads. I think that's a big thing for us, is making sure that our ads are being seen and that we're on the first page of Google ads, so that when people do need a legal service, they recognize the name, they know us, they trust us, and then they give us a call.
Definitely, that's important. And I mean, like, like you mentioned, right? Unfortunately, it's only when things happen, but hey, I'm glad that you guys are there with 50 years of experience. Definitely great to have you guys there. And and like you mentioned, the website, so that way our listeners could go ahead and visit you. They could always check you guys out at north-co.com. What
That's
role
right.
then, is there something that you guys like to particularly have on your website to generate that content, for visitors to interact with you guys?
We typically just sort of keep it to the services, the areas that we service, and just keeping it concise. So we're not giving them everything, but just giving them enough information so that they're going to click and call us, so that they can speak to us in person, because that's the real that's where we shine, is once we can get and chat with the person and everybody's comfortable and we can help them out through there.
Definitely. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Great to hear that. And as far as the website, then, is there any tools or tips or methods that you would recommend to your listeners as far as some website lead generation?
For us, we just redid our website last summer. And so the big thing for us was the previous website had too many clicks. You had to click here, click there to get into all these pages, the layers of pages. So we've gotten away from that, and it's more on scrolling, because now people are using their mobile devices to access information. So being able to scroll was probably the when we worked with the developer, that was the focus. The content is still the same, but being able to access the content quickly and efficiently, that was the goal. That's the goal of the website, is be able to access that information quickly and be able to catch us, reach out to us in one click, is what we were striving for. I think we've done that.
Definitely. All right. Great to hear. That's great, advice there, right? Always revamping website is always good, right? So great to hear that, you guys. And well, let's switch gears a little bit then, Neil, and let's talk about you as a leader. You being the marketing coordinator there for Northern Company. What are some key tasks you like to focus on your day-to-day work?
For me, it's interesting. It's not your typical marketing kind of role. I mean, that's a big part of what I do. But we do a lot of philanthropy work throughout the area, so I look after that. And then it's also, as much as we do external marketing, there's a lot of kind of internal marketing that we have to do as well. So making sure that our assistants and the lawyers are up to speed on what we're doing, messaging and customer service related things. And so we're starting to kind of morph into more of a training and marketing role. So we're getting some information out to the assistants on basically, how we present ourselves to our clients, because they are the first line of communication with a client before they see a lawyer. So we want to make sure that they're up to speed, because that is, that to me, the experience is the most important part of what we do and of the marketing that we can do. And if you have a positive experience and everybody's on the same page, then that's what's going to bring people back to us.
Definitely would agree with you on that. Sounds like, you have everything juggling over there, but in a good, pattern. So great to you. And in through those cracks, how would you stay up to date with all the marketing strategies, trends that are going on? Is there a specific channel that you like to stay up to date with marketing?
I was thinking about that, and I don't necessarily, again, for me, I guess being a little bit older in doing this, I rely more on personal relationships that I've created and talking with mentors and other people that are doing marketing as well. And I reach out to them. We have good conversations, and that's kind of how I keep up with the trends. But I also, for me, it's not necessarily looking at the trends, but listening and analyzing and seeing what people are doing. So going into a store and analyzing how people are browsing and how they're looking at a product and what they're looking for. And so it's it's more those kinds of things. I think those real life experiences that I tend to jump out at me, and that's how I kind of see what the trends are. Certainly look at social media and some of these websites that talk about the trends and see how those trends kind of relate to what I'm seeing, and then kind of go from there.
Absolutely. All right. Great stuff there. Thanks so much for sharing that, Neil. And well, let's jump into our next section here then, Neil, which is our rapid fire question rounds. Are you ready for them?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. First off, Neil, what is the last book that you read?
I'm actually going to go with a book that I just started reading, and it's Rick Rubin, the music producer, and his The Creative Act, A Way of Being, and it's really an interesting book because I think we're all, as marketers, we have to be creative and coming up with different things, and the way he puts it all together is just amazing. So, I mean, Rick Rubin is a music producer, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Johnny Cash, the Chicks, and he founded Def Jam Records back in the 80s, Beastie Boys. So that's what I find really unique about him is the genres that he's worked in. It had to be creative in all these different genres. And I don't believe he actually plays a musical instrument. He's a person that really has the ear, but can guide these musicians to tap into their creativity and bring out the best in them. And that's what I'm getting out of the book. And I think it's really kind of an interesting book, and I highly recommend it.
Definitely important, right? I think something that you mentioned, right? You don't have, it's like in coaching, right? I mean, you could be the greatest coach of all time, not play it in anything, but you got that, that vision, that eyesight, that ear sight to go ahead and boost people in order to get the best out of them. And you're doing that there as well there with your team. So I see why you're reading that.
Yeah.
Awesome. And well, next up then, Neil, is if there's no boundaries in technology, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
I think there's too much technology. I think we rely on it too much, and I think we're missing out on getting out and meeting people and creating the relationships. I think a lot of the time marketers are kind of put in a corner and are in their office, and they don't really come out and they don't really interact as much with people, and that's what I'm kind of finding with people that are coming into it now. They don't know how to go out and socialize with potential clients, the small talk, being able to just have that real smooth relationship. I grew up, my dad owned a store and my father-in-law owned a store, and the way that they were able to develop relationships by having just conversations was just amazing. And I see that with some of the lawyers here that have been around for 30, 40 years. They're just so amazing at just going out and chatting with people. And I think we tend to get a little too, we want technology to help us with all these different things, but there's just some things that we just, it's up to us to be able to go out and develop a relationship with. So that's really, I guess, my take on technology. Is maybe a little bit different than most, but I really do believe it's all about the relationships that we need to develop.
Definitely important. I agree with that as well. And then, so if there's one repetitive task that you could automate, then Neil, what would that be?
Automate probably the social media aspect of things. I mean, we've tried different things, and I mean, to be honest, I mean, social media for a law firm is a little bit different because we have the confidentiality rules and things like that we have to follow. But if there is a way that I could do, and maybe AI, I have to look into the AI a little bit more now, but with its coming up. But just finding a way where I can post to social media and it's not the same post on X and on Instagram and on Facebook. There's different messages that are tailored to each one. Because I do find that's time consuming, having to create that content for each platform. So that would be, I guess, something that I would need to look into a little bit more.
Definitely. All right. Great. Awesome to share that. And well, lastly, Neil, I mean, you have already experience in the marketing world, but what is that one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
My journey's been a little bit different again. Because I come from I graduated from the community college here in town with broadcast journalism and community television production. So and within those courses, there was marketing and sales and everything. And I don't know if I would change anything, because I think that gave me an opportunity to see different sides of how everything kind of works together and meshes together. I would say that if you're coming into marketing, go spend a couple of years in a sales job. It's hard. It's not the best thing, but you will learn so much. You will gain so much valuable experience talking with business owners about their marketing and what they want to do. And then you'll also learn how, again, building the relationship, but also just learning the different ins and outs of marketing. I think we tend to get, nowadays we get, I'm a digital marketer and that's all I do, or I just do this type of marketing, that's all I do. And I think being able to go into sales, see everything, learn as much as you can from there, it just broadens what you can do as a marketer down the road.
Definitely. All right. Awesome. Some great advice there. I definitely do agree with that, right? Sales does add a little bit of tribute into that. So great to hear that from you. And well, Neil, we are coming to the end of the show here, but before we do end, I do want to give you the last word. If someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is that one thing they should remember about Northern Company?
I think for us, just again, that one-stop shop for legal services. We've got the experience, the first group of lawyers. I don't believe there's anything that our team of lawyers and assistants can't handle. And if they can't handle it, they will find somebody to help you handle that problem that you have.
Well, there you guys heard it from Neil. Check him out at north-co.com. With over 50 years of experience there at Northern Company. Thank you so much, Neil, for being on with us. And to our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to our next episode at Pathmonk Presents. Thanks a lot, Neil.
Thank you.